Roll call. Commissioner Sykes?
Here.
Commissioner Harris?
Here.
Commissioner Earl?
Here.
Commissioner Downing? Here. Mayor?
Present.
City clerk's present. Police?
Here.
Fire?
Here.
Public Works?
Here.
And city attorney.
Present.
And now's the time for prayer.
Please stand. God, thanks for this special day in our lives. Thanks for the countless blessings you bestow upon us as undeserved as we are. God, we say a special prayer for our city. We ask you to empower all of our leaders with wisdom to lead, guide our city to the best direction that would please you and them. Christ, we humbly ask these things in your name. Amen.
I will ask everyone pause for just a moment and represent honor our former city clerk of the city of Clarksdale. Salute, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor, now's time approval of minutes. We have June 26th, June 30th, July 14th, July 18th, July 25th, and July 28th. Need a motion?
Mayor, I guess I'm having a problem here, maybe with the minutes. A lot of minutes are approved at one time, and I wasn't able to review all of them.
Okay.
So I'm kind of hesitant to review.
Yeah, need a motion to carry over.
So moved.
Second. We move properly second. All in favor, please vote sign of
Aye.
aye. Ayes have, motion's carried.
All right, department head comments. I have no comments. Please.
Yes, Mayor, Commissioner, since our last meeting, Clarksdale Police has canceled 468 service calls, issued 42 citations, made 50 arrests, and worked 14 accidents.
Fire.
Good afternoon. Since the last board meeting, we have had one house fire, one food on the stove, one trash fire, one four-wheeler fire, one car accident, one electrical fire. Also, we have had 2 firefighters who graduated from Mississippi Fire Academy. Stephen Wells was the class speaker, and Ben Davis Gamble was the most fit. And also tomorrow we'll be out at the expo helping the care station pass out food in the morning, starting around about 9. Thank you.
Public Works.
Good afternoon. Last few weeks, Public Works Department, we removed 7 demolished properties, cut alleys in all 4 wards, started work on covering the landfill debris. City contractors have been doing concrete work in various areas, removed 5 trees that were cut by city contractors. Code enforcement issued 11 warnings and 2 citations. Building inspector performed 40 inspections, cleaned up after the festival downtown, cut lots in all 4 wards, and ran our regular trash route.
Personnel.
Good afternoon. The city is currently accepting applications for an equipment operator, a heavy mechanic. CDL drivers are encouraged to apply. We are also accepting applications for a director of public buildings, a director of public works, prosecutor, city attorney, city clerk, fire chief, public defender, municipal judge pro tem, police chief, and we also continue to accept applications for police and fire. Anyone interested in a career in patrol, please submit your applications right away because there is an agility test coming up at the end of this month. Those tests are typically done once a year to twice a year. So it is imperative that if you are interested that you submit your application immediately to the Win Job Center. All applications should be submitted to the Win Job Center. Thank you.
Grant writer,
None at this time.
city attorney,
Good afternoon. We do have a planning commission meeting tomorrow at 3 o'clock p.m. in the Board of Supervisors room at the county courthouse. Issues pertaining to the city of Clarksdale will be a submission of a final plat for approval for the Clarksdale shopping center. That's where Roses and Planters Bank is on State Street, and also there will be a conditional use request for an event center at 219 Yazoo Avenue.
all right, commissioner comments, Ward 1,
Good evening. I would just like to say that I'm proud of all of the new board here on the work that we have done, and that's based on my thoughts. As a whole, I think we're doing a great job. And that's the easy way of patting myself on the back. And I encourage each and every citizen of Clarksdale that if you have a problem, reach out to your commissioner as an individual and talk to your commissioner. If you cannot reach your commissioner, reach out to me and I'll get them for you. My number is 662-645-1500. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Ward 2,
I don't understand why we field jobs, applications for people we currently have employed that are already doing a super job. I don't know what idea, but I surely don't understand that. I like the people we got running where they're running and the job you're doing. I tip my hat to them. Thank you.
Ward 3,
I have some concerns about issues within Ward 3 from my constituents as far as utility bills that I spoke on and vetted. And I feel that we need to call for a meeting with the general manager and the board of commissioners for CPU so that we can get down to the bottom of why the utility bills are extremely high within our city. It's been an ongoing issue for quite some time now, and we have seemed to prolong this situation and drag it along. So I would like to expedite the process and get a meeting with the general manager of Clarksdale Public Utilities along with their board so that we can get down to the bottom of things. We have appointees that sits on those boards that's supposed to work for the citizens, because that's who everybody on this council serves, the citizens. So we need to be mindful in our decision making on who we serve, and that's the people. And we need to have appointees that sit in those positions that are gonna look out for the best interests of the citizens, because that's who we serve, correct? Everybody on the council, that's who we serving, right?
Yes.
So we need to set up a meeting to get down to the bottom of why our citizens are receiving such high utility bills. We need to get answers for them. We can't go over there and speak for for Clarksdale Public Utilities, but we have appointees that can speak up and speak out for our citizens. So I would like to get a meeting set up. A city attorney, can we make that happen?
You can set up a meeting with their board. You may even have a joint meeting if you so choose.
Okay, well, let's expedite the process. Let's get this ball rolling. I don't have anything for the Madam Clerk.
Ward 4,
I have a little quote. We don't have to figure it all out. Some days we feel heavy. Some goals feel far. But every step, no matter how small, is still progress. I know that Clarksdale has been in a dreadful shape for some years, and we're making progress. And I know sometimes it feels like we're not doing our job because people on Facebook and all other avenues telling us what we need to do. You don't understand. You've got to get in the seat before you know exactly what we can do and how fast we can do it. So we indulge you to have patience with us and work with us because we are getting things done. May not be as fast as you want us to get it done, but they are getting done. We're enforcing codes. One of the things that you've got to understand is all these cars that sit in the front of guy with 3 wheels instead of 4, with the hood up and they won't run. You need to get them from in the front of your yard, and code enforcers will give you a little slip. That means that you need to get it out, because that makes our city look worse. Also, if you got areas that's close to you that need mowing, take it upon yourself. I don't care whose property. Well, you know, some of you saying, well, you know, it ain't none of my property. Don't worry about that. What we're trying to do is clean up Clarksdale. And the only way that we can do that is that we all work together. It's not just the commissioners and the mayor's job. It's the city of Clarksdale's job. And the only way we can do it is that we work together. So we're asking for your assistance in helping us, or helping to make Clarksdale cleaner by doing your part. Picking up that paper all down the street. You got a part to play too. And we thank you for doing that. And my number, of course, if you have lights that are out, we're riding the wards. We've submitted lists. So Chief Ramirez got that list taken care of, and CPU. So we're submitting another list. Things that need doing, just call somebody and we're going to do our best to get it done. My number is 662-645-7707. Have a great day and God bless you.
Mayor,
Good afternoon to each of you on today. So excited that you're here with us on today. We're getting ready to transition through the meeting. I've seen about 30 people just on today within my office, and we are working. We ask that you hold your applause. We are in a business meeting. We ask that you place your phones on silent at this time. Thank you so much.
all right, community comments. Dave Houston.
Good afternoon. I first want to say thank you to the board, the mayor, Commissioner Ray, Commissioner Harris, Eddie Earl, Commissioner Earl, Ms. Downey, for allowing me the opportunity to come before you. And before I speak, I know I got 3 minutes. You guys are doing a good job, and you make me proud to be a business owner and a citizen of Clarksdale, so keep doing what you're doing. Secondly, I'm here to request, I came before the board June 9th, and we requested festival protocol support for Clarksdale Day. And that's city sponsored and provided porta potties, trash cans, dumpsters, street closures, and a cleanup crew for August 30th. That's gonna be the only day that we're gonna need it. That's the only day that we're gonna use the downtown area, August 30th. And I also wanna ask, because we've been strapping and struggling, could the city provide a donation to the Clarksdale Day Committee of $5,000? That's if they can afford it. So that's why I want to come before you. Any questions about Clarksdale Day, I'm willing to answer them.
I guess a question I would have, talking about the budget, is anybody else on this agenda asking for money here? That's something that's across my mind right now. Mr. Mayor, is that Dave's the only one asking money on this agenda?
We have 3 more.
3 more
organizations. Yes.
Well, we receive money from an organization in Clarksdale, but for us to get the money with the Clarksdale Day Committee, we're gonna have to pay $450 to get the money. So it's just hard on us to get the things that we need. This is the first year, so that's the reason why we came before our city, since this gonna be an event for Clarksdale, and we probably gonna be one of the things that we're gonna do with the Clarksdale Day Festival is with the sales tax that we receive for the food trucks. We're gonna pay those sales taxes back. We're gonna bring that back to the city when it's collected. Now, you ain't got to give up that $5,000. We're just saying we request it, whatever you can spare. We be open to.
I guess sitting up here the first time, what I'm looking at in my mind, Mr. Dave, appreciate you coming and asking, is that when we start to give anybody money on this, I get concerned about not seeing the budget. Or what organization do we turn down, or what criteria are we using to turn each individual down? Have we established something? Does this city have an establishment of how we do that? Surely, if it were me, I would approve everybody and we go broke. So the question is,
Could be related to that right there.
be related expert there.
She'll tell you what's in the budget, what you got.
And so, what material we using to measure who gets the money? Are these individuals together on the agenda? Are they separate? Do we hear all of them and make a decision at the end?
Probably better.
Neither. They probably do better do it now.
Hear them all.
To hear them all.
We only got so much to go around.
Council, advice. We're looking at giving, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I would refer to Commissioner Harris, since he served prior to us. What was the criteria that was used?
Well, before, we had an idea how much money we had in the situation to use. And we strictly catered to the people that were nonprofit. And, you know, the people that came in for profit only, then they got pushed to the bottom of the list. But there were many people that came before us that had, like Ms. Conley, had great ideas or things to do that would help our city. And we tried to always cater to them. We didn't always give them what they asked, but we always helped them to some degree. And of course, we kind of had an idea how much money we had to disperse. I'm sure Ms. Kathy can give us an idea.
Well, we got a 501c3, and we can provide a nonprofit receipt to you guys.
We want you to be a nonprofit.
That's right.
You help in the city.
So currently you have 26,000 in the budget.
To give out.
So, yes.
Okay.
And, we don't have a policy per se as far as turning anybody down. We always listen to everything. They had to be a nonprofit though. That's all we can give to.
We had a bunch came in with profit and then we turned
Not
them
go
down.
directly to them.
Yeah, we turned them out the door.
And, we can provide assistance, you know, like he said, he was looking for porta-johns, cleanup. Usually they ask for road closures.
Yes, ma'am. That's on
Which
the
would require some police assistance as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So we would do in-kind
Yeah.
donations.
Let us listen to everybody.
That's fine.
We'll
But,
give you an answer today. We'll help you in some degree, sir.
okay, so with the steps for protocol, do they address that now, or will we be approved for the steps for protocol, just clean up and stuff like that? The porta potty and things that they need.
I'm an expert down the last line here.
What are you asking for now, sir?
The steps for protocol, you know, the protocol, what she just was speaking about.
So if anybody, like in advance, if this is gonna be an ongoing festival, at the time we are working on budget, it's usually when we ask for a letter saying, hey, would
Yes,
you
ma'am.
please keep us in mind for this next year's budget? So currently, we are working on budget now, and our budget hearing is, the 25th, the next board meeting.
Can I come back for that too? I want,
Oh,
cause we're
yeah,
gonna be,
budget
we're
hearing
gonna
is
be all
open to
going.
everybody.
We're gonna be all going.
It's- And it's at 5:15.
With this table to the 25th.
Let me ask a question. The date of your event is again?
The 30th, it's gonna be the 30th, this particular section of the event is gonna be on the 30th.
On the 30th.
The 30th,
On the 30th.
August 30th.
He might need a little help for you.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
listen.
You can't wait till
Yes, sir.
the 11th hour.
This is coming fast, you know, like.
We got the other coming, Colin, we got to move quicker, you can't let them just sit on the pond.
You can listen to, we can sit here and wait till you listen to everybody else.
I think that's best.
That's
We'll
fine.
listen and then get back.
All right.
Yeah, they're all under the community comments, so they're,
Alright.
you
So
know, close to
appreciate
the
you
top
guys
of the
for
page.
you very
listening.
much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Houston.
All right. Austin Jones. No,
He was on campus earlier.
what?
He was on campus.
I'm not present. Dandy Jackson.
First, I'd like to recognize the mayor and also the commissioners and also the city employees of Clarksdale and also to the citizens of Clarksdale. Good evening. We've been here before this board. It's a property dispute. And I know the new commissioners, you really don't know what's going on. But if I like to issue each one of you all one of these papers here that you can keep along and kind of see what's going on. And also, I'd like for you to have a copy of this also and pass it around. This has been dragging on for a while. And this is my brother Eugene Jackson. His wife was not here. We own some property at 646 Cherry Street. We bought a lot from Bancorp Bank, Southern Bancorp Bank. So we paid the bank for the lot. And what was the situation of what we had? It was a house on the lot. The city council voted to tear that house down. If you can follow me here on the paperwork, I got the timeline to everything that happened to the property and how it ended up, how we ended up here. Because it's finger pointing going on. The finger pointing is from Southern Bancorp Bank blaming the city for their error, and the city is blaming Bancorp Bank. Now, how we end up in the middle of this? Good faith, we bought the property at 642 Cherry Street. Y'all should know the property used to be an old gray house. It was torn up real bad. So we purchased it. So we rehabbed the house. And the lot was sitting there beside the house, was not cared for. So my elder sister, because we actually did it for her. And so the property just sitting there, and so she wanted to know who owned the property. So I found out having Southern Bancorp Bank owned the property. So I called downtown and found out. So we said, okay. And so my brother and his wife, I said, well, you go check on it and find out. So we ended up, the bank, they did run a title search on the property. Now, as we was told by the city attorney that it was there. So the guy, Mr. What's the guy name that drew up the paperwork for the bank? Mr. I think it's what's his name?
Excuse me, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson.
Yes.
Mr. Jackson, I think you have apprised the board
No.
of the decision, but we want to refrain from mentioning names at this point. Can you get to where you are now in the
Okay, I'm finna get to you there now. So, but now, me and him did have a talk about it. And so he's still blaming the city. Now, here's something else we got from the state of Mississippi. The last board meeting, not the last board, before the old council went out, they assured me, and also the attorney, assured that they will end this, bring this to an end. Promised that the property will not be going to the state. So it went to the state. Now, when this happened in 2022, the city council passed a resolution back in 14 to tear these houses down. There was nothing on the property. So when we acquired the property from the bank in 2021, the city turned around and passed that same ordinance in 2022 on the cleanup. Now, we was not responsible for that property at that time. We had no idea we was even gonna get the property. In 2022, the city council passed the same ordinance to come back and to apply those tear down assessment to the 2022 taxes, property tax. I went in there to pay the 2022 taxes, and this is what I found out. We owed it almost $6,000 for the tear down. Hold up, wait a minute. That was not, we didn't own that property. And the bank, when they ran to see was anything attached to that property, it came back, no, nothing there. But attorney said it was there, but no price was on it. I can't understand that. If it was there, when they did the title search on the property, it should have been there. Now, on that other paper there, I'm gonna show you, it's a state ordinance stating. Wow, wait a minute. You can talk. No, I am, sir. If you let me, they gotta have an understanding of what's going on, because now, because the state attorney general has got involved. They want to know the outcome of this. You think I can give you all the attorney papers, and I'm fixing to take them to another attorney to fill them out, because they say it was wrong. Now, that's what they stated. Also, they also got in, and also they put me with the attorney who handled the case.
Yeah.
Now, that's going to be a whole nother subject, because we were definitely misrepresented under your leadership. Now, hold up. Now, it's not, can I at least say something? So, I mean, you've been talking all week long.
Address the council, sir.
All right, sir. Okay, here under this document here, it states here, as you tear down the property, dear Mr. Jackson, we have an attorney to look into this. He say, dear Mr. Jackson, attached are the documents we are discussing on yesterday. It was a while back. We did this over 3 years ago with the council. Now, they stating here, I'm not going to read it out, but y'all have it. Saying, Mr. Jackson, the documents we discussed on yesterday, the city did not follow through on program of the 8th resolution. The tax that showed up is a bogus claim, cleanup charges that the city botched. They filed a lien pending in 2017. Now, that's when that happened. Now, but never did anything. They tried to fix it 5 years later in 2022 with a refiling. But I think they are out of luck under the statute, Mississippi State Statute, Code 21-1911. Required that the work be done on any liens filed within 1 year after you tore that house down. Now, that's the state law. Now, that's supposed to have went to a Southern Bancorp Bank a year later after that was torn down, but it never was filed. It waited until 2022. The council passed a new resolution, that same resolution, to put the taxes on the 2022 taxes. All in City of Clarksdale. I'm sure we're not the only one. We're probably the only one that came forward, because at the clerk's office, they said they couldn't do it. Also now, I talked to the state. We had a great meeting this morning, and also with the city clerk downtown this morning. Now, we talked to Ms. Carter, me and her, from the state. We had a good letter, a good meeting this morning. And also with Ms. Wilson. The state put everything on hold. They're not going to do no more than paperwork. And the only thing the state is asking is that the city council withdraw it. They say, if you withdraw it, give us the property back. And I feel that for the last 3 years, we went through grief with this property. We went grief. Time, money, and also now we paid the city.
Pause for a moment so my attorney can respond now.
Yes, sir.
So I also
I need to make sure everybody's listening.
all right. So I also talked to Ms. Carter with the Secretary of State. So there was a lien against the property of Mr. Jackson. However, the state has come in, our lien is wiped out. So, and the law states that we have to do the work within 1 year and file a lien. However, the amount of the lien, because we could not find, well, because the original property owner did not come in and pay and make arrangements, the amount was put in the lien later. So so the work was done on time, followed the law. It's just the lien was filed later in 2022 after the work was done, because as Mr. Jackson stated, the house was in fact torn down. And the resolution wasn't from 14, it was from 17, and the work was done within 18, within a year of the second resolution saying the house should be torn down. Now, our lien has now been wiped out. I've also spoken with Ms. Carter, and that's at the Secretary of State Public Lands Division. And upon application by Mr. Jackson and his family, they can have their property for just under and it's a round figure, about $730 in order to get so our lien, the city would not get anything, would not claim anything, but that would extinguish our lien and allow Mr. Jackson and his family to continue with the property free and clear. After, and as long as they keep up with the taxes, the normal taxes on the property. And believe Mr. Jackson just needs help with the paperwork. Am I correct, Mr. Jackson?
Well, here's what we talked, me and Miss Carter talked this morning. And here's what Miss Carter told me. And I also took it to the clerk's office. Now, you are correct. You and I did talk a lot about this. But now, I don't think that we should have to buy our own property back. We done paid the bank almost over $3,000 for the property. In 2023, I was advised by the city attorney to get an attorney. Okay, I tried to solicit other attorneys, but they said it would be a conflict of interest. And I got to Mr. Shaw. Mr. Shaw said, okay, I know what to do. I know me and attorney, we are good friends, woo, woo, woo. He took it, I hired him. We hired him in 23. He carried it on for those couple of years until one day, to the day of. And another attorney, I solicited other attorneys outside the city in Cleveland, Mississippi. That was my advice from other attorneys here in Clarksdale, because it would have been a conflict of interest. And I feel that why Mr. Shaw drug his feet so long, because only thing that he could have did is brought it before the council. He had told me that at first. But how I ended up where we are now, I think to Ward 1, Mr. Pluckett. Mr. Pluckett, I got so frustrated that I called him. He said, Mr. Jackson, he said, all you had to do is come before the city council and bring this before it. But we was misled for 2 years.
Let me ask you a question. We talking about $700?
No, sir. I don't think, no. The city said we don't have to.
No, I'm asking you, is that the amount of money we're talking about?
No, sir. We talking about almost $8,000. Maybe $9,000.
How much, how much it cost to make this problem go away?
Nothing.
Again, around $730 according to
I think we shouldn't pay anything.
I'm asking you to pay anything, sir. I'm just asking how much money we talking about, $730?
$730.
And it's all gone away?
Yes, the only thing he will owe is the taxes to the county for the year 2023, which is in the amount of less than $170. So all total is less than $900 to catch up on the taxes completely.
Well, we talking about $730, he's gonna pay the tax,
So
correct?
yes, but $730 to the state, yes.
That make you happy, sir, with
No, sir.
$730?
No, sir, do not, because now Miss Carter stopped the paperwork. Nothing. I don't have to pay anything. Only thing the city have to do is withdraw that.
I've talked to Ms. Carter. I'm sorry, I've talked to Ms. Carter's boss. We don't have the authority to do that. And they've agreed. So I think Mr. Jackson has a misunderstanding.
No, sir.
And so, but Ms. Carter, and I have talked to Ms. Carter about this. I've talked to the Secretary of State. I've talked to the people above her, and they're all saying the same thing.
No, sir.
We don't have the power to simply remove it because.
Yes, you do. Sir.
So just explain to us what the $730 is. Let me ask you.
So the $730 is the amount that the state requires to put the property back, give a patent to, back to Mr. Jackson, and his family. So that is an amount that looks at the taxes that were owed and including the assessment and slashes it down by between 75 and 80%. So they slash it down to a manageable amount and and this is a special rate for the previous owners of the property so they can get their property back.
So, Mr. Jackson, your
Okay,
understanding,
yes, sir, I want to rebuttal on that.
I guess you understand what the 700.
I understand. I understand, because me and him, we talked about it. He brought those figures to me. Now, Miss Carter, they come up with no figures. She said, Mr. Jackson, he said the way that went down with the dispute, she said, clear it up. Tell the city today, I told the they know that we coming here at 4 o'clock. The city, only thing the city have to do is recant it, pull it back. And she said that if you do that, because they are not pleased, they said, no, it's bogus. Because the bank, Southern Bancorp Bank in the city should have had, the city should have had that in public record. Nothing was in City Hall recorded. Nothing when they ran those, run that deed check. It's not there.
What's the
And
difference
she
in paying
said-
$730 and recanting? What's the difference?
I don't think we should have to pay for it.
We're not asking you to pay for anything, sir. What's the difference in recanting and paying $730 and making this go away?
The difference is recanting at this point, talking with everyone at Secretary of State, it's impossible to do. We don't have the authority to do that. However, the $730 does puts it back in Mr. Jackson and his family's hands. So, and I understood. I also talked to Ms. Carter about what she told Mr. Jackson, and she was saying if there was a mistake or if there was something possible that we did wrong, we could do that. However, telling Ms. Carter all of the details and the timeline and talking to her bosses, they decided we don't have the authority to do that. So I understand where the confusion comes from, but that was a hypothetical. The concrete is the $730 guarantees that the property goes back to Mr. Jackson and his family.
No. May I?
I have a question. Why is that not pleasing you, sir?
So, no, sir, because first of all, we bought the property.
We're not asking you to pay more money. We're talking about making it go away. Why does
Make it go away.
$730 not please you, sir?
No, sir, it do not. Because, first of all, we didn't cause this hardship. The city did. The city caused us this hardship.
But they're paying it. We
have paid it $730 and give us back our property. Because the city, he promised, well, the board before the last week, I think you was on the board. Before the last council meeting, he called me when all this paperwork was still in the city clerk's office. Nothing went. He called me and told me, let's put this off and let the new board take it up. And that's when, if you think, here's all the dates on your paperwork, and they slid it right onto the
But what I'm
state.
asking you is if we gave you $730 and paid you and you got the property back,
I'm done.
that's what we're suggesting.
Yes, sir.
Why is that so hard for you to
No,
comprehend?
no, it was not hard because I thought we had to pay.
I'm not asking you. If the board
No,
pays you
sir.
$730, it goes away, you got
Yes,
the property.
I'm good.
You're a happy man.
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we pay the $730.
Well, you can't do it from the city coffers. You can't do it from the city coffers. And so this is,
Well, how can we do this and make it to take care of him? I mean, what's
if you
difficult
want to
about it?
give a gift to Mr. Jackson, that's,
The old city council member?
no, not everyone, but I'm just saying, if anyone wants to give an individual donation to Mr. Jackson or his family, they can. But the city conference cannot make a direct payment to Mr. Jackson over this,
But who is the $730 owed to?
to the state of Mississippi.
Well, so if our council pays the state of Mississippi, he gets the property, he's happy.
The council cannot pay as a council, it cannot be a city check. Let me say that, it cannot be a city check.
We have a special fund we can come out of.
No. Not for this particular type of case.
This would be an illegal donation.
Yes, it would be a legal donation. But again, and I understand Mr. Jackson's frustration, but what we did was talk to the state and to make sure that our lien is no longer a hindrance. So the city's lien is not a hindrance to Mr. Jackson and his family receiving the property back. So anything about the $5,000 to $6,000 that was owed, that has been cleared by the state. That has been that will not be held against the property.
So it's 730, 750 is administrative fees or something?
Yes, and that covers the regular taxes and any administrative fees from the Secretary of State.
So when you said regular taxes and administrative, how do you separate that?
So the taxes were about historically about 160 average on the property.
Which he would have owed, right?
Which he would have owed, yes.
Okay. Administrative fees.
Is that city and county?
There should have been city and county, yes.
So administrative fees.
Administrative fees, that's done by, I'm not sure what it is, that's done by the Secretary of State. I don't know the breakdown of those fees.
I move that we carry over this until we can come to a decision as to what would be the best decision that we can help the Jacksons. And we can work together to try to get them their $732.
I will say,
Because we owe it to them.
I will say this, the city did, okay, and let me say this, the city, we followed the statutes and everything that was done. Otherwise, we would have been settled this matter with Mr. Jackson, but we have gone beyond to help him out to get our lien removed. If this was a case where we could have done it, because Mr. Jackson is not the only case like this that happened, and we were able to help others because of a mistake by the city. But you have to find the mistake first. Because the city followed all the steps according to law, we were not able to do that in this particular case. But we still worked hard to try to work it out to where his amount would be dramatically reduced.
So let me ask Mr. Jackson last question here before you get down here. If the taxes that the taxes that the council is talking about, right, are these taxes that we did not pay because of the confusion?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes.
Let's think a little bit about it. So imagine do you think you owe those taxes?
To me, right now, sir, due to the interest gone up on them over since 2022, I don't think that we should be accountable for anything but next year's taxes, because for 2 years, we done out of our pocket.
So
I don't think that we should do anything but pick up. They handle this. If it's the city mistake, as the bank pointed to, that we should wipe the slate clean and we pick up next year's taxes.
So we may have to carry it over, because I guess I was looking at taxes versus somebody doing something in the public to say, take care of your administrative fees, and you pay the taxes. But it's a legal problem in there, so we may have to just carry it over.
Can I add one more thing, sir?
We gonna rectify it, Mr. Jackson.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's be patient.
I will ask Mr. Jackson one more question. The August 17th deadline, is that still in play?
No, I asked her, she got it on indefinite hold until she get a letter from this board.
Okay.
And go through, Miss,
And did she give you that in writing, sir?
no, sir. We talked on the phone. It's not in writing. She said that she was not going to move anything because the letter, for her to continue with it, a letter must come from the board, from the city clerk's office. That we don't come to a resolution with it. She will not, and I don't have to do that online form at this time. But I have a lawyer already intact, waiting to do the attorney general paper and also all of the other legal works that, because we and also with the bank and the city, we was gonna make a filing against the city and the bank.
Because we late filing the lien on the property.
I'm sorry.
Were we late filing the lien way back originally a long time ago?
Yes, sir,
No,
7
the
years.
lien went in on time.
Well, yes, ma'am, thank you.
So the first lien that's filed, there is no amount of money. It's just to let everybody know that the city is going in to tear that property down. Once it's torn down, then a invoice is done, and we make every attempt to try to get a hold of the property owner to get that lien taken care
So,
of. At which time, another resolution has to be approved stating the amount that it assesses the property.
so he actually bought the property before the lien got assessed to it. Is that correct?
Yes, he got to know. So the original lien saying we're gonna come in and tear down the property was before he got the property. The lien, the second, resolution showing the amount of that cost was after he got the property.
So he bought it and didn't know it was on there, correct?
But the lien was filed against the property.
Right. But no
It's
dollar amount,
untimely.
no dollar amount. Very good.
And that's the that's the situation we ran into where we followed the legal required steps. And that's why it's still before this
The
board.
main thing was that it was torn down within a year.
I can see where he thinks he got best. I can see it, sir.
And the only thing I want to add to that, that was for 22 taxes that it was sold to the state of Mississippi. Once a property is sold to the state of Mississippi, they cannot sell the following years thereafter to the state. That amount of money is still due and will be billed directly to them. So if that was for 22 taxes, he's liable to get another statement for the 23 taxes and the 24 taxes, once this is resolved.
He owned the property then all those years.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, can I add one more thing, sir?
Sir.
And I'm done. And I'm done, we can come back and finish it up. Now, like it states here, that should have been done, when they tore this property down, they passed that resolution, and clear, that was in 17. Now, that house been torn down since 17. Why did nobody, now out of all those blank years, why did not nobody send the bank who owned this property, all those years? Now, they never got a bill. And I also, he told me this. And when I did my other paperwork, they were stated to me that they can add it anytime they feel like it be 6, 7 years down the road. That they can put this on your taxes at any time. Now, that didn't come from me. And I'm not gonna call the name who told me this. And it should be recorded at that office down there. And I could not believe it. I could not believe it. And as attorney said that they can do it any kind of way they want. That was told to me, and I'm standing here as a witness of God.
And I can explain why the bank was never notified. Before the bank, and this is why this case was so complicated. When the bank got it, they did it by foreclosure on a company called SLC Properties. SLC Properties was who the city moved against to tear down the home because at that time they owned it. That's who the notices were sent to at that time, SLC Properties. And so once the bank got a hold of it, they did not notify, even though again, the lien of the city was already on the property before the bank got it. The bank did not come to the city and notify the city. So so after the city filed its lien, its original lien, no one ever came to the city and said I own it. And so, and we're trying to change that by now where we reach out and where we try to find folks as opposed to letting them come to the city. So that is a change. I do believe these cases have shown we can make to be more proactive in going after who owns it currently. But part of this was the city had a lien, the original owner lost it after the demo. The bank never contacted the city, and then no one ever contacts the city until the lien gets put on their taxes.
Ms. Allen.
I move that we table this decision on any decision until we make all effort to solve the problem, which we'll hope will be by the next board meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Second.
It's been moved, properly second. All in favor, use vote side of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rebecca Pleasant Patterson.
Ms. Patterson reached out to the city on behalf of Brio Arts requesting a closure of 3rd Street between Sunflower and Delta this coming Saturday, the 16th, for the open house for Brio's after-school program. She did send that request in, and it has been shared with the police chief as well.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Move proper second, all in favor, use vote sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried.
Downing, who made the motion?
Mr. Allen, second.
I got it. Oh, all right, Meriwether Stovall McGettigan.
Hello. As you know, a lot of the city ordinances have been in sort of disarray or sort of antiquated, and one of my interests is animals, and I take in dogs a lot and rehome them. And so I left with a packet for each of you, which is actually a new ordinance, chapter 4, which is the animal and fowl ordinance that I completely rewrote. It was literally, parts of it were back in the 60s and 80s and whatever. And I left you some pieces of the ordinance, for instance, the pit bull part that I took out and things like that. But, so that's what I'm here to talk to you about, is a new updated chapter 4, which is the animal ordinance. And also it has the addition of a trap neuter release, which is pretty common around the country. So a couple months ago, I have to read this because it was like so long, typical. I'm like, but I'll try to go fast. A couple of months ago, it came to my attention that a good part of the city's animal control efforts were hampered by the lack of a place to hold animals for adoption after they've been picked up on the streets as probable strays. The shelter has been at full capacity for quite a while, and it's now mostly boarding and caring for animals that it's housing. They're not capable to rehome their animals fast enough to be of assistance to the police department's duties of removing nuisance and abandoned animals from the streets or animals otherwise considered strays. The present city ordinance, section 4.4, states that a facility for proper impoundment of animals on a temporary basis shall be provided by the city, supervised and controlled by the police department, or at this board's discretion, at a recognized animal humane society or shelter or whatever. CARES filled this requirement for, ever since you all moved from Anderson Boulevard. And while it was functioning, that is, while animals were being adopted out and freeing up space for animals to come in off of the streets and things, it was performing that duty well. Now that CARES is no longer able to create an effective flow of animals leaving, freeing up space for new arrivals, the city is already in violation of its own ordinance. So the animal control officer at the police department has frequently picked up animals from the streets only to find that there's no room at the shelter. And Officer Hawkins can report better on how long that has been a problem. My understanding is that with no other place to take the animals, he's been routinely returning them back to the place that he caught them. Our streets are overrun with stray dogs and cats. It's estimated that there are about 400 of them roaming at large. I think given the number of cat colonies around town, that's probably a pretty good number. CARES is reorganizing, but has not been an effective partner to the city for over a year or maybe 2. The city ordinance on animal control, chapter 4, is antiquated and in desperate need of overhauling. What you've been provided in the packet is a completely updated chapter 4, which is the city animal and fowl ordinance. It now has consistent definitions, language, and penalties throughout. It also thoroughly addresses the complete lack of language to limit liability to the city departments to also to any department heads, to city employees, elected officials, including any volunteers who might be assisting or performing any duties covered under Chapter 4. There was no language that limited liability to the city or any of you all, or any employee. There's the addition of a trap, neuter, release called TNR program called Clarksdale Rescue and Care, where there is an absence of another more comprehensive and palatable alternative. Trap, neuter, release programs are commonly embraced across the United States. These programs at least provide a way to reduce the growth of the stray population in a municipality. The TNR program is exactly what it sounds like. Stray animals are trapped or collected from the streets. They're taken to a vet. They're sterilized and then returned to the exact location from which they were picked up. Dogs are tattooed and cats' ears are clipped for identification. Clarksdale Rescue and Care is now Section 37. That's where the pit bull ordinance was, which we can discuss, but I think that what I gave you kind of is pretty definitive. And that numbers, Section 37 is in the new proposed Chapter 4 of the Clarksdale ordinances that you have a copy of. The TNR program has been modeled off of the same programs found in cities like Baltimore, Maryland, or Foster City, California. These programs were traditionally for feral cats, but have been adopted by Best Friends of Animal Society and Four Paws to control feral dogs in rural America. The program is described in the new proposed ordinance you have, that is Section 37. It would involve the cooperation of the police department, the animal control officer, Dr. Landis's office, and funds to support the program. If the cooperation of Interim Chief Ramirez and Animal Control Officer Hawkins can be arranged, I estimate that this program could easily take in more than 100 animals to be sterilized and released per year. In fact, if there was a focus on the cat colonies, the program could sterilize many, many more than 100 a year. So what I brought before you today is an updated Chapter 4 of the city ordinances that deals with pets and strays. It still has no section specifically dealing with penalties for aggravated cruelty to animals. But the Mississippi state law is sufficient, or should be. It's my understanding that state law trumps or whatever we come up with. Is that right, Mr. Melvin?
That's correct.
That's correct, okay. So there's been a recent development, which is sort of startling. The Mississippi Code regarding the penalties for cruelty to domesticated animals just got terrifyingly tougher last month. Codified as Mississippi Code 974116, the Mississippi Dog and Cat Protection Law. I included that in your packet. To be clear, there's no section in the old or proposed Clarksdale City ordinance that specifically deals directly with penalties for aggravated cruelty. The Mississippi Code is the law we rely on, and we now have this new one. For instance, the new offense in the new codified 974116, the first offense of aggravated cruelty is now a felony with penalties up to $5,000 and up to 3 years imprisonment. The second offense is double the money and double the prison time or jail time. It's draconian and really a bit unrealistic, but it is the law. So the man who was in court not so long ago, whose dog was found dead tethered to a stake out in front of his house, starved to death and completely dehydrated, that same man came before Judge Derek Hobson, who fined him $50 and sent him home, asking him if he could please not do that again. That's a long way from $5,000, and it's a long way from jail time. That is enough to make you wonder about our respect for the law. Anyway, full disclosure, a trial TNR program started here a month ago, and I talked to all persons who would be involved in the program. Dr. Landis's office is completely on board and has offered a reduced rate for procedures. I asked that he hold the animals for 3 days post-op in order to monitor them after they've had surgery. The 3-day monitoring is not normal for TNR programs, but since we're doing it for dogs, it certainly is better for the incision to heal a bit on a stray before you put them out. in my humble opinion, so that, I put that in the ordinance. It's imperative that the animal control officer is allowed to do his job. That then he performs the duties diligently. That is consistently using the standardized form provided, filling it out at exactly the time of capture to ensure the correct address is on the form, that he delivers the animal to Dr. Anderson's office, that he and the vet both sign the form, and that he collects the animals 3 days after surgery, after signing the form again when he collects it. Then he has to release it back to the exact location from which he collected it. If that cannot happen, then we don't have a program. A reasonable question: how long does this program have to be in existence? Case scenario example of Foster City, California is they went to address 175 cats in a colony. This program was put into effect, the TNR, and they took it down from 175 to one cat. Their progress was hindered due to the fact that cats, unlike dogs, are very prolific creatures. They reach sexual maturity at 4 or 5 months old. They have litters of 3 to 8 kittens, and they can do that 2 to 5 times a year. So it took Foster City 16 years to get rid of their colony of 175 cats, or rather 174, because they still had one. I ask that you look over the new proposed Chapter 4 ordinance and consider adopting with some minor changes, which I will describe. It has already been checked by legal professional. The annual cost of the program depends on the number of strays collected from the streets, but it's estimated to be between $14,000 and $20,000 a year. If the city could find the funds for 50% of that, say $9,000 or $10,000 a year, I'd be willing to raise the money, the other part, or put up the funds myself. There's no quick fix to a city overrun with strays, so this program needs to stay in place for quite a while. Care shelter should definitely contact the animal control officer or vice versa, because if they have room for animals and would like to take them in, any animal that's caught, that should be the preferred course of action. The duties of the animal control officer for those animals is then only to deliver the animals to CARES. I thank you for your consideration of adopting a new proposed animal ordinance, and I'm hopeful that you'll decide to at least fund 50% of the trap neuter release program costs each year. If you determine that this new ordinance should be adopted, I guess the next step is, does the city want to enforce it? Do you want to strictly enforce only parts of it? I mean, do we follow state law? We don't follow laws all the time around here. We don't enforce our own ordinances. We thumb our nose at the state laws sometimes, and we don't even pay attention to the federal ones. So we only have penalties in the Clarksdale ordinance for owners of known vicious or nuisance dogs. That includes cruelty, but they're pretty little. They're very outdated. But first, we really need to decide if we're going to recognize that our local laws are irrelevant in light of the very strong Mississippi state laws. And how do we start? Is it even a thing that you start slowly, or do you just literally change the ordinance, change every ordinance in the animal Chapter 4, so that it matches the state laws, which I think is the best idea. I don't know if you all would embrace that, because I just read to you, they're pretty draconian. I would suggest if we could do that, that the state laws are written to say up to. Everything is up to $5,000. So 0 is an option, I suppose. Prison, up to 3 years. So 0 would be an option, or both. It says or both. So you can't get away with nothing, I suppose. But so those Mississippi state ordinances, those laws could be put in our ordinances, and they still are flexible. So I think it's the best idea. If that was, and that's not what's in there now. I left our ordinance in, and then I put in the Mississippi state so that you could see the difference. And Mississippi state doesn't need, the laws don't need to be in our ordinance. So, but I would suggest if the city adopts it, and I can go back to this ordinance and then put in the Mississippi state laws as part of our ordinance, and it would be complete. If we did that, I think with an abundance of effort, in every social media platform, and probably every month for a year, we should publish whatever laws we think we actually are going to enforce. And so that, and an effective date that they'll start enforcing them, because this community is not ready to put a collar on every dog, their pets, and a phone number or a house address, and all of those things are in the Mississippi law. They are in the Mississippi law. So if we're going to wade in and enforce a few laws, I would think we publish these things in Clarksdale Voice and Clarksdale Advocate and everything you can think of, and a couple of times in the press register, and make sure that everybody understands that parts of these ordinances in particular are going to be enforced, and specific date that they would start being enforced. There's a decision to be made about that, about whether, for instance, owned animals will not be allowed to run at large in the municipality. That's pretty much in the state law, and we let them run everywhere.
I have a question. Don't we have an ordinance right now in our city that prohibits the police from picking up a dog and taking it back out there?
We do not. It's the TNR programs are adopted in almost every city.
So to make this program successful, we need to rewrite the ordinances.
Yeah, and I wrote it, and you've got it written into the new ordinance is section 37, where the pit bull thing was taken out. Because, that's crazy, because why doesn't it say Belgian Malinois and Rottweilers and all kinds of, any dog like that can be trained to can be vicious, right? A vicious dog is because a vicious owner trained it to be a vicious dog. So anyway, there are laws, Mississippi state laws, that we've got part of them in our ordinances. But it would be better if we just quoted the Mississippi state law, since it does take precedence. And they're flexible. They don't say you will fine somebody $5,000. It says up to. So I think it's the better course, and it's kind of a quick fix.
Would this program work better with CARES if it was doing that instead of you having to do it?
CARES does not do trap, neuter, release. They don't do that. What's happening? No. So Commissioner Harris, what's happening is that there are dogs on the streets, and there's no room at the shelter.
Right, I bumped into that. I paid fees down at Dr. Landis for some. How much money we give CARES a year? $50,000.
Yeah. For 9 or 10, I promise you.
Seems like we could convince them.
It's kind of a double-edged sword. I want to tell you there are two prongs to this. One, if you make pet owners put a collar and a tag on a dog and disallow them to run at large in the community, which is also Mississippi law, I think, state law. So if you just enforce the laws, those dogs would not be out finding other owners, females, dogs, and having. So it's not just a whole bunch of strays, it's everybody's dogs that are the problem.
Seems like that'd be the best way to go first.
Well, I think if you do both, because we do have in fact strays. And it's pretty obvious when you look at a pretty healthy dog and you see it's all fat and full and happy, and it's got a pal, and you see it all the time around, you know darn well somebody owns that dog. There's just no tag on it, no collar on it, nothing.
This will help our city for sure.
Yeah. So, but both of them. One, you can pick up the strays. They're strays. I mean, you can tell they're strays, right? We've got some very sick animals around here.
I think we should consider it. You versed on it.
Okay. Council, can you summarize? I guess this very well. That's a lot.
I know. I will. It's the entire ordinance. I know. I'm sorry about that.
So what I'm hearing is that we got a lot of dogs running loose, right? And we need to do something with them, right? And so because CARES won't, because we don't have the room for them, right? We need to do something.
That's right.
So taking them in, go ahead.
Let me say this. I do want to have one clarification. When someone is charged in municipal court has jurisdiction over misdemeanors. Anything that is raised to the level of felony, that's a charging decision, that's a prosecutorial decision. And so if it's raised to the level of felony, then the municipal judge has to bound them over to a higher court or have a hearing to bound them over to a higher court if that's requested for a felony charge. But only misdemeanors can be only, municipal court can only find them guilty of misdemeanors, only, and the maximum fine that can be imposed by municipality is, $1,000 and up to 1 year, in jail, but some statutes only 6 months in jail. So, but then to get to your question, now, there is authority under the law currently where not only can you, spray and neuter, but you can also, euthanize as well upon notice and, and notification of if a stray is owned, you have to send that notification to the sheriff. And also with vicious animals as well. So you do have euthanization as an option, as well as spay and neuter as well.
So we have a population problem. I guess what I'm saying, this whole ordinance is about population, right?
It is, but let me just read you Mississippi state law. So this is the Mississippi Public Health Law. Is this the one? Yeah. Mississippi Public Health Law, Title 41, requires that an impounded animal whose owner cannot be determined. So this is even somebody's pet who does not have a collar on it, but has left town for a month, left his dog who knows where with somebody, and the dog is out, okay? And so they cannot determine who owns a dog. It's to held for 5 days to be claimed by the rightful owner. Okay, so if the owner's not around, Mississippi state law then states that this is the part we don't do. Mississippi state law then states that it shall be lawful and it shall be the duty of the sheriff, peace officer, etc., to kill any dog over the age of 3 months old found running at large on whose neck there is no collar and tag. That is Mississippi state law. And the new one I just read you, the draconian one, says it's a felony. It is now a felony, what, Mr. Melvin was just talking about.
So I guess, simply put, we're concerned about overpopulation of dogs, right? And the way we've been doing it is not working. The pounds is feeling.
Well, we're going to spay and neuter problem, so we just multiplying on the street.
So
Go up to tomorrow, you got 50 new ones.
Yeah, the first part would be if you could actually enforce the ordinance about collars and tags on the dogs, so you have a phone number or you have a house number.
Yes.
So there is no person who should own it, and they should really have, and that's why I say I think you should put it out once or twice a month in Clarksdale Voice and the Abbey, and just get it all out there. So that these people who go and get an animal, because it seems like fun to have an animal, but they actually are not pet owners. They're putting food out twice a day, and they're not even looking to see if, they just check and see if the bowl's empty. So those dogs are all running at large with no tags, no collars, no nothing, and they are acting as strays. They are proliferating and causing one half of the problem. The other half is we simply have strays. Real strays. No. I want to put the Mississippi code in there. If you all will allow me, I want to put the Mississippi laws in where our ordinances are ridiculous.
So substitute.
I want to tweak it again. Yeah.
I make a motion that we review what you have and to try to implement it into our ordinance.
Second.
Move the property second, all in favor, vote aye, aye.
So would you give me a second then to alter it, to put in the Mississippi state law? Is that?
No, we're still reviewing.
Okay, well, I want you to
The
review.
motion is to review. All in favor, use the voting sign of aye. Opposed, the ayes have it, motion is carried. Okay.
We'll review.
You ready to move on? All right, Cassandra Banks. Cassandra Banks. No. All right, Ada Travis.
Good afternoon.
Absolutely.
Good afternoon. My name is Ada Travis, and I'm here on old business. About the ditches on Fassy. I'm sure everybody's familiar with it. And And the ditch has been there like 45 years. We've been complaining and we haven't got anything done. Right now, we have reptiles in the ditches, rodents in the ditches, mosquitoes, trash. And here it is 2025 and we jump in ditches and dodging snakes, mosquitoes and stuff like that. We're trying to get this solved. They have dug ditches up down in the 1100 block. And the last time they worked down, they made everything worse. I have a ditch in front of my business like 6 feet deep and about 10 feet wide. I cannot get down there to get this trash out. And right now, with the trash being blocking the sewage, the water's coming up into the buildings and the homes and things. So now, right now, we're getting soil erosion. Soil erosion is causing the driveways to crack. Every driveway down, they got cracks in it, large cracks.
What address is this now?
This is on Sassy in the 800 block and the 1000 block and the 1100. 8, I think it's 8, 7, and 9, yes. Are you familiar with 49?
Yes, ma'am.
49, okay. 49, and you know what the fire station is down there?
I do, ma'am.
Okay, that's Sassy.
I'm very familiar where it is.
Okay, well, that's Sassy.
Yes, ma'am.
So come down to the 800 block in front of the Head Start. That's where it starts, right there in front of the Head Start.
That's
It's
my
flooding.
ward, I know where it is.
It's flooding real bad in the area. And we've been coming for years and has nothing been done. And the last time they worked down it, it has made everything worse. Matter of fact, it's flooding into the homes now, and that's the problem. So we're trying to get this solved. I would like to see maybe some concrete curving down there like they did on Ritchie. They got that right there in front of Jones Grocery. They did a beautiful job there. I would like to see that on Sassy, in the way possible. And we would ask for speed bumps. The people are driving like 80, 90 miles an hour on Sassy. We asked the speed bumps, now, the last time I was here with the old staff, it said that they was gonna take care of the speed bump. The speed bumps have not been done. Was Page, the 1000 block of Page, the speed bumps were supposed to be put there, they didn't do it. And in the 800, Sassy from the, I guess the 7 all the way down to the 9, they still haven't been done. I wanna also address, when they were there, they took up my fence, they took the poles up, and the mayor did come out, the former mayor came out and told me it was gonna be done. My poles are still on the ground. The fence is still broke down, they haven't done that. So I am here with old business. So could anyone address me and tell me what's gonna be done with this old business?
Ms. Travis, that's our ward, and, thank you so much for bringing it to our attention.
Thank you.
And we will get to, review it. I go out there when I leave here
Okay.
and review it and see exactly what we can do. We've already been talking to, Mr. Emerson about some of those curb trees that need to be replaced on several of those streets, and we'll work to get it done. Like I said, we're on one bill to the day. Just give us time. We're doing a whole lot of old business.
Thank you.
Yes.
I want to address some new business. Are you ready for the new business? Yes. On the Soto, 430 Soto, which I have a building. And the building next to me, I just gave it an address. I'm not for sure if it's 428. I just said if I'm 420, if I'm 430, it should be 430, 428 next should be beside me. That building needs to be torn down. Trees in the back, standing like 50 feet tall. Trash back there. We got old cars on the side, and the building is actually falling down.
It's 428.
I gave it that address. My address is 430 DeSoto. So I assume beside me, there's no address up there. So I assume beside it may be 430. It should be 428. I'm not for sure. But it's an old club. It used to be a club there, and it has been closed over 20 years or more. And the building is not being taken care of.
You know who owns it?
Yes, sir, I know, I do.
But I'm sure everybody here knows who owns it. They know who owns it. So I would like to have that building torn down
I'll
because
take care of it.
they have a lot of rodents over there also. Rodents and reptiles are staying over there too. Okay, the next thing I want to change the name where I own the block. And I want my name put on that block. Can you do that? Which is the
Is that on
1000 block of
server now?
Garfield, the 1000 block of Garfield, I own the whole block. And I would like to have my name put on.
Be easier to put a sign up in honor of you, not change the name of the street.
Well, you've done it before. So
Well, yeah, but the problems that come up from doing that and all the people that have changed the mailing address and all, it's much easier to do like we did Dr. Gates on West Second Street. Just put some up either in memory or in honor of you. It requires nothing, nobody changes anything.
You can't, but what about what you did over there on Kahoma, when you changed the Neil place? You couldn't do that? You did that one?
Nah, I wouldn't hear them, man. I
Well,
can't
you
tell
did,
you
well, I
right
don't,
now.
well, we gonna have to talk to somebody that know what they, know what I'm talking about. I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Thank you.
But it has been done before.
Thank you.
No, the 1000 block of Garfield.
Garfield.
Mm-hmm. That's some of the old here properties.
Thank you.
Those apartments.
Those apartments in the 1000 block. So that's all I want to say, make sure we get all that done.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Travis.
Sheila Ray. Sheila Ray withdrawal. My person has been answered. Thank you. Peggy Hemphill.
Hello, good afternoon to the mayor, the commission, and the board members. I'm Peggy Sue Hemphill, aka Lady Truck of a Blues Singer, and I represent Mississippi and the surrounding areas from all across the country and nation and worldwide. I am coming forward for the board and, excuse me, can you pass this to the board? I don't know that they put it in y'all packets or not. They did? Okay, thank you. I'm coming forth to ask for sponsorship for my second annual Just Make Festival. And I ain't gonna stay long, it's gonna be brief. I'm just asking for donations for sponsorship. And this is one of the flyers right here to post. You got here, this I think I can go one.
It's in their packet.
Yes, ma'am. And I wanna make sure all the artists that come in here for, make sure they have a place to stay and make sure they get paid. And make sure we have a safe and a glorious time. And that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say too much. I'm gonna stay long. But that's all I'm asking the board for, the sponsorship for my second annual Just to Make Us.
So can we hold that until the end again, guys?
Yes.
Thank y'all so much.
You're welcome.
Colleen Fires.
Hi, and thank you. I will also try to be short and sweet, following up on what was originally a June 9th board meeting with the former mayor and commissioners immediately after the King Biscuit Festival board voted to cancel in May. And so this is Chalk Mitchell here, who is the president of the Sunny Boy Blues Society, which runs the King Biscuit Festival, which, as you know, is in its third decade. I'll let Chalk
This is
speak.
your turn.
Yes, so I'll let Chalk speak for himself about the size and the scale of the biscuit, but what we spoke about then, and I know we have as well briefly, is that it is like the Juke Joint Festival in terms of its impact economically and within community, especially small business perspective from the city of Clarksdale. There are a number of hospitality businesses that feel what was last calculated, and perhaps the clerk's office can help us find the Luckett administration's economic impact study that was done, found $178 per person per day being spent here at a 4-to-1 ratio, that it is held in Helena, but because Clarksdale has the hotel occupancy as well as the restaurants, gas stations, the tax revenue to Coahoma County, and I know Coahoma County has 20 years of tax data they can provide, has an impact of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so when the biscuit canceled in May, we put together this agreement with the help of the prior Mayor Espy and commissioners voted unanimously, which we appreciated and helped us work together on what I think you have from our last meeting, and I'm happy to redistribute, and Melissa and Kathy can share about a 5-point plan that allowed Clarksdale to host the biscuit warm-up live from Clarksdale on Wednesday, Thursday through Friday. We'll go noon Wednesday to noon Friday, ending 1 hour before the biscuit officially begins. And we've also been working with the Pine Top Perkins Foundation, which is hosting its 20th year on the Sunday of the biscuit. So we are all working together to send out messaging that says, come stay in Clarksdale for all 5 days. And in some cases, many of the international travelers are all 7 days. Many of them book their hotel rooms like Juke Joint exactly 1 year prior. As soon as they leave the last festival, they just rebook with the hotels they love. And so this was an effort that we put together jointly to ensure that folks don't cancel their hotel rooms. And we took a leap of faith and acted on good faith that we'd be able to follow through on that. So we're just here to complete that business. And I'll let Chalk, if you want to say anything else.
I don't have a lot to say, but panic started when we had board members that decided that we shouldn't do the festival. We're in year 38. We've grown over the years. We started out like you have here. We started out free, but the prices of everything, including musicians, they deserve to be paid. We've had some of the top talent in the world. This year, we've kind of gone more to a regional focus. We're fortunate to have 2 Mississippi artists as headliners this year. I think we got it. I'm sure most of you in the room have at least heard of Mr. Sip. He's going to be over with us on Friday night. And also, we have the B.B. King Museum Blues Band. They're doing a national centennial celebration of B.B. King's birthday. I was fortunate to hear them in Chicago, doing the Chicago Blues Festival. And a couple of the artists sound a little better than B.B. King to me, but my hearing might be failing. But I invite each of you to come over. We've done something trying to get more local people and consider you to be local as well. We reduced the price of tickets. They had gotten to be ridiculous. But we're back to, I think it's $20 a day. If you get 2 days, I think it's $35. And that makes it affordable. We've tried to do something. There have been a number of things about we weren't going to have security, but that's completely ridiculous. In this day and age, we want everyone to come to be safe. I know we can't control some of the people that don't think like us, but we certainly can have a plan to make sure that everyone that attends is safe and you feel comfortable. We would probably have not gone forward had it not been for our neighbor who came over with the idea. But you have one group, not only do they book a year in advance, they book 2 years over you. And they're basically from Europe, I think they're from Denmark. And they had a large group and they started panicking. But you still have them. I think that's good for your business and it's good for ours. We'd like to continue the King Biscuit, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, small town blues festivals in the world. And we have international visitors. I think I've bumped into a few this weekend. They even came to Sunflower. They come from France, you know that. People love Clarksdale. A little jealous. I wish they loved Helena a lot more than you guys, but we're close. And a lot of them, they venture when they come to Helena, they actually end up staying over here. I think that's good for business, for Clarksdale, also good for us.
Yeah.
That's all.
So I think there is a really wonderful, we've talked about before, positive message of progress that we can make for as much as this has organically existed for the last more than 30 years of folks staying in Clarksdale, spending money in Clarksdale, supporting Clarksdale musicians, businesses. This is the first year, and where this is groundbreaking, and I hope we can all announce it with great fanfare about the partnership that's happening here. This is the first time that formally we would be able to say that both cities have come together, and we haven't made it very public, but really appreciated the very first week, as soon as y'all took office on, I think, what was it, July 2nd, we had the mayor's office, the tourism and the Crossroads Economic Development on this side of the river, and their counterparts from the other side of the river came and met together about doing this jointly, and would be thrilled to work with Mr. Coleman and everybody at the city to really jointly market it, because this draft is what the Biscuit has always done, but with your support, we will be able to, for the first year, start jointly saying, come to Clarksdale, go to Helena for a couple days, come back to Clarksdale. And we're working with Pine Top's not here today, but Pine Top would appreciate the support as well. So, did that answer any questions that y'all had lingering?
I think it's good for both cities.
We both win.
Yeah, it's a
We
win-win
both win.
situation to me.
Yeah, and I think the focus is on economic development in particular when we're talking about scale. This really is intended, you can read back to the original agreement that we all coalesced upon. Each one of these 5 points is here because it was very important to some leaders on the Biscuit side of the river. And it was very significant that you'll see this was dated as a confidential draft on June 10th, which was a Tuesday. It was immediately following the Monday, June 9th meeting here that I was able to call our counterparts in Helena the next morning and say, guess what, the city of Clarksdale just, thank you, Millicent, officially voted to support you. They legally cannot vote on exactly what that support looks like until the new board takes office, but it truly was meaningful for a number of parties on that end, and in part because of that, we're moving forward. So I think there's great news to come out of this, and I appreciate your help in getting it done. Mr. Sykes, did that answer any of your questions
Thank
about
you,
especially budget and numbers?
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
So is that the last person that's asked for a donation in terms of festivals and blues on there?
Yes.
That is. Okay, I guess it complicated. The last board agreed, and we're stuck with it. Okay, so.
I hope you don't feel stuck. I hope you feel blessed. It's good news.
So allow me to ask questions now, ma'am, if you don't mind. You want to go ahead and deal with those three at the same time? Let's talk about longevity. King Biscuit has been around.
38 years.
38 years. Sunflower, okay. Mr. Houston, is he around? He got around. He's outside. All right, Miss Hip Hill.
I'm here.
Is this the first year that did the city donate last year?
No, the first year was in Hollis Springs,
She
Mississippi.
rotates.
They sold the Strata building, so I bought it home to, which is here to Clarksdale. So this will be my first year in Clarksdale, but this will be my second festival.
Your second festival. You said home. What is home? Home is
My first festival was held in Hollis Springs, Mississippi, but they sold the Strata building. And so all of my artists, majority of my artists are from here, and the majority of the other artists, they from like out of state and across seas. And then I'm getting near from like Texas, here. It's all the hill country,
okay. Mr. Dave.
all the culture part.
I'm sorry, Miss Hip Hill. I'm trying to do everything at one time. Mr. Houston, is this your first time with this festival?
Yes, sir. It's the first time that we are doing this stuff. It's a city-wide festival for us, for the people of Clarksdale. And one thing about it, the difference is we don't receive no profit.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is we're doing something for our city. I'm not doing that and putting it in my pocket.
Let's say, I guess in the past donations, what have we, is there anything in who we donate to? Melvin, Kathy?
We have
We just saw
contributed
this her
to,
request. We just
we have
honored.
contributed regularly to Sunflower River Blues Festival and Juke Joint Festival. I think those are comparable, if that's what you're asking.
How much
And
is
Delta.
Sunflower?
I think it was 2,000.
We get something out of
How much? 2,000.
2,000.
2,000 Sunflower.
I think, I understand it's a confusing process when you're coming new to it, wanting to see, I'm with you on just an annual budget. I know having been here for a number of meetings, I don't know if the city gives directly to Juke Joint, it's so large. This I will
We also do Your
say.
Lady in Blue thing for you. correct?
Yes, by
Yes.
context, but you were able to support Women in Blues this year to the tune of $3,000, and that is a much smaller festival, and it's
It's still
fourth
good for
year.
the city.
Yeah, and if I may, what I would like to say is that there is, it's important to have this ecosystem here. And I hope, I understand from a budgeting perspective, it's easy to feel like there's a zero-sum game and hope that you do set an annual budget for it. The hope with the biscuit, what's actually explicit here is that this is not an annual request. That we are doing this because of this nature of emergency, that all of these hotel rooms were being canceled in Clarksdale. So this is more of an investment in a rescue plan and something that almost didn't happen. And that we do work with and support each other. That I run the Live from Clarksdale account, and we do cross promote other festivals. So I think we all support each other in the ecosystem for sure.
I guess where I'm going, I'm ready to give the whole pot away, but I guess based on what can we do in terms of two other people who are asking for donation, normally it's around what you say, it's around the blues, or have we donated to any other organization?
Well, Christmas at Clarksdale and a number.
You're fine.
Sorry.
I'm talking about the other two. We're talking about Ms. Hill and Mr.
I can hear you, Mr. Rice.
Huh?
I can hear you. Both questions.
All right. I'm talking to these guys in terms of organizations that we have donated to in the past.
Yes, sir.
We have not contributed to Hemp Hill, and this is the first year that Clarksdale Day has been in existence.
No other organization like that? Help me out, somebody.
They hadn't done it in Clarksville, no. This is his premier event.
Help me out, guys. Where we at?
I make a motion that we give Ms. Hemphill 1,000 and Clarksdale Day and Colin 2,000. That's why I make a motion.
Hers is a bigger scale. Maybe 1,000, 1,003.
I mean, we gave Sunflower 2,000. That's a big scale festival as well of our own. I think it's fair. I mean, Sunflower is a big festival for us. And I understand it's on a wider scale, but we haven't even given our own festival over $2,000. I think it's fair.
If you need to pause to crunch the numbers, I definitely understand and we would be willing to wait. I can't be back here in person at the next board meeting, but if you can offer at least a verbal commitment to a couple $1,000s, we have been waiting to go to press, and so we have to go to press. If you feel comfortable saying that there will be an amount at 3,000 or higher, and then once the clerk's office or whomever has had an opportunity to revisit the budget, I understand if you'd like to come back, I can join it on a Zoom meeting.
Again, I don't mind giving the whole pot away. I'm looking for pass, and I agree with Mr. Earl. We might stand up on our own festival if we're gonna do anything different than somebody else, and I don't know what
What do we do to Juke Joint? How much we give to them? 5? Is it 5?
No, 1,500, I believe.
How much?
1,500.
1,500.
We cut off our biggest.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Yeah.
The Clarksdale Day Festival is in conjunction with the Reds, Blues Festival. And what we doing with the Clarksdale?
I don't receive anything.
No, not with the but what we doing with the Clarksdale Day Festival is we hint to anything that doesn't happen in Clarksdale. There's certain clubs and things that don't get recognized during Juke Joint that's gonna be recognized August the 30th. Certain things that's gonna happen
they get a whole lot of funding that we don't have nothing, we don't get nothing for. So if you guys are willing to give us $2,000, we are willing to accept it because having nobody else decide to give us that any city. So thank you.
I have a question. Have y'all approached tourism and chamber and all
Yes,
those
sir.
sorts of?
Yes, sir.
Mayor,
We have
can we reamend and ask for 3,000 for Colleen, 2,000 for Clarksdale Day, and 1,000 for Hempfield?
but the motion died because no one seconded.
I know, that's what I asked, can we reamend?
Okay, we can remake a new one.
That's what
I
just
know,
did.
that's what I'm telling her.
That's what I was just doing.
So we didn't really ask for a second on that motion. He can withdraw his motion if he wants to do that.
I would.
I like Miss Linda's motion.
Ms.
I
Downs, would
I
you,
need
Ms.
you to
Downs,
say
would you
again
state
what
your
she
motion?
just said.
I motion that we give Colleen $3,000, that we give Clarksdale Day $2,000, and that we give Hempfield $1,000, total $6,000.
May I have a second?
A second.
To move the proper second of the said motion that we would give Clarksdale Day $2,000, Pre-King Biscuit $3,000, and the Hemp Hill Festival $1,000. All in favor, use the vote sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Brenda Partey.
Partee.
Please be careful.
Excuse me, Ms. Partee, I apologize, I have to straighten up one more thing before we go. Mr. Houston also asked that the city would assist with festival protocol. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved properly second that we assist Clarksdale Day with festival protocol. All in favor, use the vote sign of aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Ms. Partee,
It's good to know.
thank you.
Brenda D. Partee, and I'm here about my electric bill. And I no longer was in there since May. Here it is August. And I have been paying a bill since May. And I don't understand why, 'cause I'm not there. So I had gone there to paying the bill. And they told me for me to get my bill, my electric pay the bill, I got to give a reconnection fee. So I just wanted, to get it cut off. But for me to get it cut off, that means I got to pay a connection fee, which I don't understand. And I had not been there since May.
Were the utilities on?
Yes, no, it isn't. Because when I had definitely gone to Mexico, come back home, and the tree had fallen on my line. And I got that fixed. And I come back, I wasn't there. So I've been paying the bill for and I'm not there. So in the meantime, the electric people are coming out to had done, checking everything. So I'm getting my wife, my electric box fixed. And so I'm understanding why I'm paying the bill. I don't mind paying, but I'm just saying why I'm paying the bill, not there.
So
Have you gone to Clarksdale CPU and talked
Yes,
to
I
them?
had, and they told me that for me to pay the bill, and I asked them, I said, well, can I get, cut off? If I get it cut off, I gotta pay a connection fee to get my bill paid, for paying back. I don't understand that, why?
Where do you live?
317 Monroe Avenue, here in Clarksdale.
Do you come and go back and forth?
Pardon me?
Do you live here a while and go somewhere else and live?
No, I had not. I've been here in Clarksdale.
The whole time?
Yes, sir, and I was staying with my brother. So why I've got to leave from my house and paying bills and then coming back and paying, I don't understand.
So you've been without power from May up until now, Ms. Partee?
Pardon me?
So you've been without power at your residence?
Yes, since May.
And you're paying a bill where you're not even living?
I'm not even living there, so.
And power is off. You
The
can't
power
feel
is
the power
off,
being off.
yes, all the electric is off.
So you had to pay a bill for May, June, July.
Here come August, I just paid a bill this morning, August, $89.
You show your light again.
Pardon me? Excuse me. The truth is a lie.
Yes, I think, sure.
You know, I don't mind paying it, I'm just saying, but why should I pay it? It ain't been there. It's hot. So where's it stay? It's not fair.
You said you had been there or the light?
I had not been there since May. May the 8th, I left and went to Mexico. I'm back the 15th. And that's when the power, when they all had this stretch or whatever it did. And the tree fell on my line. They came and fixed it. When they fixed it, and so I got electric, person come out to, put my box up. They did the outside the meter. So now I gotta get my meter box put inside my house.
Okay.
So what I'm saying, why I'm paying a bill that I'm not there? It's been since May here, it was August.
I'll find it. You got a cell number?
Pardon me?
You have a number, phone number?
Yeah, 662.
Wait a minute. All right,
I've already addressed the issue with Commissioner Harris. I'll follow up with it.
go ahead.
I have an answer for you no later than tomorrow.
All right,
Thank
thank you. And okay, I have another issue. I live there in the same residence, and I've been, it's next door to me. And the person stayed there, I think his name is W.L. Watkins, and trees is over there. I've been complaining about that. So I went to the city, about the city auditorium. I had gone there and filed a complaint with him. He had not cleaned that light off. So if the tree falls on top of my roofing, what they mean, I got paid for that. So I'm just trying to get things done. So while paying for things that being done.
Craig, can you have code enforcement look into that?
Yes.
So we can get that resolved.
Yes, sir.
Make sure Mr.
Cause I think I talked to somebody, I'm not for sure, it back some years back. I'm starting to get this done.
Yes,
And I'm scared of cats and dogs.
well, we're gonna expedite that situation. So,
Pardon me?
we're gonna expedite that situation.
Okay, thank you.
Ms.
I hope
Party,
so, thank you,
Ms. Party,
sir.
is that tree on city property or your property?
It's on their property.
It's on Mr. Watkins.
Oh,
Yes,
Mr.
his
Watkins,
property,
next
yes,
door.
next door to me.
Thank you, ma'am.
And the city came out there and measured her, and then broke my fence down, now the tree coming through, so what else I got to do? If it fall on my house. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to carryover business. We had a request from, National, to use the National Guard Armory on Ritchie Street as a meeting place for the Sylvester Badgett VFW. I also had another request for the DAVs to use it as well. He requested to, appear at the next meeting, but I'm thinking we were gonna try to address both of these issues at the same time. We were talking about but letting them use one room in the armory, pick a day, certain days, and then that's the day they would use it. And, for each of these,
I have a question. Have we done anything to move our records out of that building to some other location?
no, I mean, it's a lot.
I know it's a lot.
There's not really anywhere to move it, but I mean, we can give them the room, the records would not be in their way, it is locked up.
That's perfect.
We have one huge room that's got a lot of Christmas decorations, and they're big, they're large items, there's not anywhere else really we can put those. We also have that big old sled that's over there, and that's just out in the big part of it. And, the three or four Christmas trees, 4 Christmas trees.
So there would be any conflict in using it then? Very good.
And it wouldn't interfere with the election process, we had that several times.
I'm all for it.
So, there was a section in the, state law that does allow them to use a room, us to, allow them to use that room. So if the board's okay,
You just may wanna restrict larger events just in case, and have them request that they use the auditorium for that, for those larger events.
would this require a group? So it'd probably be best to draft up an agreement, that way we could work with both entities. So this time, I guess I'd need a motion to prepare an agreement
I
for
move
each
that,
one.
I move that we allow the National Guard Armory located on Ritchie Street to be used by the Sylvester Badger VFW Post 8590 and the American Legion Post 203.
And the disabled American veterans.
And disabled American.
There's limitations for bigger parties.
That would be part of the agreement.
So be a part of the agreement. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved properly second. All in favor, use vote sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried.
All right. Moving on to regular business, principal insurance. With like permission to accept the continued coverage of dental, vision, life insurance with principal.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved properly second. All in favor, use vote sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Permission for the city clerk to obtain quotes for an updated city of Clarksdale website.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved properly second that we take bids. Permission for the city clerk to obtain quotes for the updated city of Clarksdale website. All in favor, use vote sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried.
I need authorization for the mayor to execute the agreement between the city and Belinda Stewart for the continued renovations of the auditorium. It would include the repairs to the south, roof repairs to the south annex, renovations to the restrooms, and the damages that were done by the leaks.
May I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved properly second. All in favor, use vote sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried.
I have, the appointment for election commissioners. Are we
Still
ready to
working
do
on it.
that?
Still working on it.
Okay. All right. Commissioner Sykes, are you ready for yours? Planning commission appointment?
Yes.
Okay.
I move that we elect, Steve Burnett on the planning commission.
May I have a second?
Second.
Been moved properly.
You'll get, us the information, his
Yes.
name and number.
Yes.
All in favor, use vote sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried.
I have quality of life appointments, Ward 2,
I'll have mine Friday for you, ma'am.
all right, and Ward 4.
James Norvell, good.
All right, I need a motion.
Second.
I mean, Ms. Down made the motion,
Yeah.
so second with Commissioner Earl.
All in favor, use vote sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried.
All right, permission for the city clerk to obtain proposals for software module that would provide the management of requests from the mayor, the board, city personnel, and citizens to be recorded and followed from beginning to the completion of project.
I have a question. Is that the software package that put in last year, Mr. Turner? Is that the software he put in?
I mean, we have that there, but we're gonna look for quotes from others as
I mean,
well.
that nobody used it. That was crazy. It was out of budget item. You should never spent the money having that thing in the first place. So we just open the motion for quotes.
That is correct. It would be brought back to the board at that time for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Moved properly second, software module quotes. All in favor, use vote sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried.
All right, I need permission to continue obtaining proposals for the group medical insurance. Since the rates were going up 40%, I need additional time to obtain information and make sure everybody has everything they need. So we're looking at maybe the quotes coming in September versus August. So I need permission for the extension.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moved properly second. Permission for the city clerk to continue obtaining proposals for group medical insurance. All in favor, use vote sign of aye. Opposers?
Would like to acknowledge the reimbursement of travel expenses, in the amount of $3,919.07. these are reimbursements, more than likely it's gonna be in the mail travel that we just did.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Move properly second, all in favor, use the voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have, it, motion is carried.
I need authorization to reimburse Lisa Fisher in the amount of $4,842 for her summer, tuition.
May I have a motion?
So move.
May I have a second?
Second.
It's moved properly second for the authorization for reimbursement of Lisa Fisher in the amount of $4,842 for the summer 2025 tuition. All in favor, use the voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have, it, motion is carried.
I need, permission to pay miscellaneous claims.
So
Everybody
moved.
had time enough to look through the miscellaneous claims. May I have a motion for the
So
city
moved.
claims? Move properly second, all in favor, use the voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have, it, the motion is carried.
August, this should be, July. Permission to pay July accounts payable.
July. Need a motion to pay accounts payable for July 2025.
So
I'm
moved.
ready to pay accounts payable for July 2025.
Second.
It's been moved properly second. All in favor, use the voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have, the motion is carried.
And the same's gonna be on the incidental expense for July of 2025, so permission to reimburse incidental expense.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved properly second. All in favor, use the voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have, the motion is carried. Hearing.
I need permission to set the budget hearing and tax levy hearing for August 25th at 5:15.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved properly second for the set of the hearing, budget tax levy, August 25th at 5:15 p.m. All in favor, use the voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have, it, motion is carried.
Permission to advertise for bids for a new fire truck in the fire department.
So moved.
Second.
Move properly second, all in favor, use the voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have, it, motion is carried.
Right. This was for, the Corbin Street, flood issues, the problems that we were having over there. We obtained 2 quotes. Delaney Drainage was the, lowest. It's for 33 culvert pipes. The job itself would require surveying the ditches and the culverts, wiping out the drainage ditch along the railroad track, purchasing the culverts to be placed in the driveways, purchasing the gravel to cover the culverts, and wipe out the roadside ditches and replace those culverts at that time. And this could be done out of the 2020 bond issue.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved properly second, all in favor, use the voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have, it, motion is carried.
The trees, you got it? Yeah. Is Russell's. Right. Need permission to accept the quotation of Russell's Tree Service. Oh, I see. We're gonna accept Russell's Tree Service for 704 Catawba, 201 Monroe, 1826 Newsom, and 925 Page.
So moved.
Says trees are us.
That's the second
Man,
quote.
higher, it's the second.
Okay.
Second bid.
All in favor, use the voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have, it, motion is carried.
Was there a second?
Who's that?
With that.
Yeah.
All right, in personnel, completion of introductory period, we have 2 in the fire department, Bentavious Galmore, Stephen Webb, and in inspection department, Otha Hunter. Need to approve those?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved properly second for the approval of completion of introductory period for, this is Bentavious Galmore, Steve Webb, inspection department, Oklahoma. All in favor, use both sides of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have, motion is carried.
Would like to acknowledge the termination of the summer work program. We had about 20 kids in it. Would also like to acknowledge Adrian Hunter, knuckle boom operator, has resigned. Yeah, we can do it all. Yes. One motion.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved, properly second. All in favor, use those sign of aye.
I need permission to post for knuckle boom operator.
So moved.
Second.
Moving properly second. All in favor, use those sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried.
I need permission for George Johnson to use his accrued annual personal leave for medical reasons.
So moved.
Second.
Moving properly second. All in favor, use those sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried.
Would like to offer employment to Terrence Hill as equipment operator in the Public Works Department.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Moving properly second. All in favor, use those sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried.
Under grant writer, I need to acknowledge the certificate of substantial completion for the Fires Point Road Bridge project.
May I have a motion for the acknowledgement?
So moved.
Second. Moving properly second. All in favor, use those sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried.
And Mississippi Home Corps grant, approval of the letter to Mississippi Home Corps replacing Chuck Espy with Orlando Payton as the city's authorized signer for the home repair grant.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Moving properly second. All in favor, use those sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried.
And city attorney would like to approve the waiver for 109 11th Street and authorize the public works to clear that property.
So moved.
Second.
Moving properly second for the waiver of 109 11th Street. All in favor, use those sign of aye. Opposers? Ayes have it, motion is carried.
Would like to acknowledge receipt of the planning commission minutes. There was no matters for the board to vote on at this time.
May I have a motion for the acknowledgement?
So moved.
Second. Moving properly second, that we acknowledge the receipt of the planning commission minutes. All in favor, use those sign of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried.
I need authorization for the city attorney to prepare an ordinance increasing the rates for the garbage, street cleaning, trash collection, litter control service, increase, due to the increase with Republic. We are still gonna take the proposals and see, what rates we can come up with, but I have to go ahead and get this ordinance adopted and sent over because it takes 30 days for an ordinance to go into effect.
Have a motion for the ordinance? Your question?
No, I do want to say the ordinance, is drafted. It's simply the last ordinance, but it's changing the number. Yes.
So it goes $6.80.
Yes, sir.
That's based on the contract that we signed with, right?
Yes.
Will we let the public know that, Mayor?
Yes, we have to approve
Once
first.
the ordinance is
Yeah.
approved, then
Yes. May I have a motion?
so moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Moving properly second. All in favor, use both sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposers? Ayes have it, and motion is carried.
All right, the next matter, we're not gonna bring it at this meeting, we'll carry it over. We don't need a motion for that or anything. I don't have anything to bring up in that. If there's no other business, then we have
It
executive
is,
session.
and one thing about the time.
So what we decided at the last board meeting was on the August 25th, we were gonna be here at 4 o'clock, have our budget hearing at 5:15, and then, we would just continue the meeting after that. And so at that time, then you can discuss, how you want to handle it.
So we'll leave here at 4.
Yes, on August 25th, you need to be here at 4. That's when we were talking about, yes, having the mayor come in.
About daylight savings time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pitch dark come 5:30.
You can get other citizens opportunity that's working on it. to attend these board meetings as well. So,
And I think, it's gonna have to be an ordinance, which at the same time, if any ordinance takes 30 days to go into effect. So are we ready to consider executive session? All right, so I need a motion to go into closed session for the determination.
Second.
Second?
Move on, second, all in favor, you say something about it. Aye. Say motion is carried.
Executive session
So moved.
Second.
Move properly second, all in favor, use votes on the aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carries.
we're out of executive session.
I can announce no action was taken during executive session.
Alright,
Executive session.
that's right, no action.
No action, Josh.
Alright, at this time, I need a motion to enter into an agreement with local government services for lease negotiations.
Have a motion.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved to proper second. All in favor, use vote sign of aye. Ayes have it, motion is carried.
Alright, Mayor, there's no other matters to come before the board, so I need a motion to recess until Thursday, at noon, August 21st.
So moved.
Second. Moved to proper
Thank you,
second.
Eddie.
All in favor, use vote sign of aye. Ayes have it, motion is carried.
Sweet dreams and good night.